don't hire.
What was he doing with those applications?
He was stealing people's identity. Now, I didn't know that. He told me he was trying to do a good job at work. So naturally I wanted to help him out, but it's not what he was doing.
How did you find out what he was using the applications for?
Well, when they came to my job and interrogated me, and then eventually I was arrested, and they took my little girl away.
Well, that's one person who has suffered a lot is your daughter.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, like I said, they put her in foster care. I went to jail. They supervised my visits with her.
You have kids, don't you?
She would cry when I would leave.
Yeah. 2 girls.
I didn't think I would ever get her back, but I found her.
People never think about the kids that get left behind when their parents go to jail.
I know that your boyfriend has threatened to kill you in the past. What happens when he gets out of jail?
Well, I don't know, but there's a way I can find out when he gets out. It's a website, and it's called VNS, and everybody should know about it. It's a victim notification system, and it lets me know when he gets out of prison, so I don't have to be afraid all the time.
Miss Horan, you're up next, so we need to get you into makeup.
Great, thanks.
Think your girls would be proud of what you're doing?
I lost everything. My wife wouldn't forgive me for... well, I had borrowed money from our son's college fund. I wanted to send him to a better school. I thought I could double my money, but I can barely afford the community college tuition that he goes to now. And a few months after the trial, my wife left me. These crooks got 8 years for mail fraud, and the cells they live in, they're bigger than my apartment. My ex-wife has to take a second job, so do I. It seems like my family went to prison, too. Except they didn't do anything wrong. I did.
That reaction isn't uncommon. People often blame themselves for things that happen to them, even though they're really no fault of their own. Oftentimes, they're so embarrassed that they won't even tell their own family. We see all kinds of very intelligent, educated people who fall into these scams.
Well, is Mr. Matson's story unusual?
I wish that it were. I've seen victims lose their homes, suffer job losses, have problems in relationships, even divorce.
Ready to? Take
Well,
two.
the good news is that you're there to help them rebuild their lives.
We're out. Fade flat.
All right, let's get out of here.
Inspector, I'd like to talk to you about the company now. I think maybe I can help put some of the pieces in place.
All right. You want to bring your lawyer in?
That would be best, wouldn't it? Do you think maybe the U.S. attorney would make me a deal?
Well, I can't speak for him, Mark, but sure I'll take your cooperation into consideration.
Were any of those people we were watching today ones that lost from our company?
No. Those are all from older cases.
I always thought the banks or the credit card companies would cover their losses. I never...
Well, it's just like the fairy tale. All the king's horses and all the king's men just couldn't put things back together again. Well, let's go take that statement.
Need that paperwork by Tuesday.
You got it, boss.
All right, thanks. Mark Harrison's remorse about his crime proved to be short-lived. After agreeing to testify against the leaders of the fraud ring, he was arrested again less than a year later for helping to operate an internet auction scam. These types of criminals rarely have any regard for their victims or the damage that they've done to their lives. If you or someone you know has been a crime victim, it's important that you know about victims' rights and the services available to you. In 2004, the Justice for All Act was passed, strengthening rights for federal crime victims. Most states have similar protections for cases handled in the local criminal justice system. All of these victims' bills of rights were created to give victims a proper place in the criminal justice system. They provide an opportunity to participate and be heard, and offer practical assistance to minimize the inconveniences and frustrations that crime victims suffer. You can find out more about your rights as a federal crime victim by visiting this website, www.crimevictims.gov. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service investigates many different types of financial crimes. Most are handled in the federal justice system. In addition to providing educational material about crime victims' rights and services, the Inspection Service continually strives to inform the public about current fraud scams and how to avoid becoming a victim. Education is your best defense. Keep up to date on the latest scams by visiting our websites, www.usps.com/postalinspectors and www.lookstoogoodtobetrue.com. Remember, being the victim of a crime is nothing to be ashamed of. Neither is seeking help to recover from it.